The call came at 2:17 a.m. I remember the time because night shifts train your brain to memorize small details. Numbers, silences, voices that don't belong. My phone vibrated on the dashboard while I sat outside the hospital parking lot, finishing the last of my black coffee. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. When I answered, there was breathing on the other side. Slow, careful, like someone deciding whether to ruin a stranger's life. Then a man spoke. Quiet! Measured. Do you know where your wife is right now? The question felt strange, almost theatrical. My wife is asleep, I said. A pause. Then he laughed. Not loudly, just enough to let me know he knew something I didn't. No, he said. She's not. A message arrived seconds later. A photograph. Grainy, taken through a car windshield. My wife, Claire, stepping out of a restaurant, her hand resting on the arm of another man. Comfortable, familiar, intimate. The timestamp on the image read 11:42 p.m., 2 hours ago, while I was working, while she had texted me. Good night. Love you. I stared at the screen. My chest didn't tighten. My heart didn't race. It was stranger than that. Everything inside me slowed down, like my mind had entered a colder room. The voice returned on the phone. They've been meeting for 2 years, he said. 2 years. I worked nights. She slept alone, or so I believed. The man ended the call with a sentence that stayed with me. Thought you deserved to know. The line went dead. I sat there in the dark parking lot, staring at the photo. And for the first time in 15 years of marriage, I realized I might not know my wife at all. The strange thing about betrayal is this. Your brain refuses to believe it, even when the evidence sits right in front of you. I drove home slowly that night. Claire was already in bed when I walked into the house, breathing softly, peaceful, her phone charging on the nightstand. I stood there for a long time, watching her, studying the face I had trusted for 15 years. 2 years. 2 years of secrets. 2 years of nights I worked overtime while she, what? Met him? Laughed with him? Shared things with him she stopped sharing with me? I didn't wake her. I didn't ask questions. Instead, I did something much simpler. I watched. The next morning, she kissed my cheek before work. Rough shift, she asked. I nodded. She smiled like nothing in the world was wrong. And that's when I noticed something. Her phone. Always face down now. Always close to her hand. Little things. Tiny fractures in the illusion. I started remembering moments differently. The girls' weekends. The late errands. The sudden interest in dressing up for dinner. My mind replayed the last 2 years like surveillance footage. And slowly, patterns appeared. The man had not lied. There was another life, running quietly beside mine. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because something inside me had already decided something important. If the truth existed, I wanted to see all of it, not pieces. All. Investigating someone you love is a strange experience. You become both husband and detective, and you stop recognizing yourself. I began with the phone records. Simple request. 2 years of calls. One number appeared again and again. Late evenings. Weekend afternoons. Sometimes during the hours she told me she was visiting friends. I memorized the number. Then I hired a private investigator. Quiet man. Professional. No questions. Just results. While the investigation ran quietly beneath the surface, I played my role perfectly. The loyal husband. The tired night worker. The man too busy to notice his marriage dissolving in secret. Claire remained warm. Affectionate. Careful. Almost rehearsed. Meanwhile, the investigator sent photos. Dinner dates. Hotel entrances. Long walks by the river. Intimate gestures that belonged to someone else's marriage. Not mine. 2 years. That was the length of their story. 2 years of deception. But Claire didn't know something. Something important. 3 months earlier, my grandfather had died. And with him came something unexpected. A legal document. An inheritance. 1.2 billion. Assets, investments, property. More money than I could ever spend. I hadn't told Claire yet. Not because I didn't trust her. At least, not at the time. But now the secret felt useful. Like a hidden card in a very quiet game. And then the investigator delivered the final report. Evidence. Messages. Hotel receipts. Photographs that removed every possible doubt. The truth sat in a thick envelope on my desk. I didn't feel rage. Just clarity, the kind that comes when a long illusion finally ends. And I knew exactly what to do with it. The divorce hearing took place 6 months later. Claire sat across the courtroom, confident, calm, her lawyer smiling slightly. She believed she understood the situation. A tired husband, a broken marriage, half the assets, a predictable ending. When her lawyer spoke, his tone was smooth. Mrs. Carter sacrificed years supporting her husband's demanding career. I almost admired the performance, almost. Then my lawyer stood and slid the envelope across the table. Phone records, investigator reports, photographs, 2 years of proof. The courtroom grew very quiet. Claire's expression changed slowly. Confusion first, then recognition, then fear. She looked at me, searching my face, trying to understand when I had discovered the truth. I gave her nothing, just silence. Her lawyer turned pale as he flipped through the evidence. Your Honor, my attorney said, we also request consideration of newly disclosed financial information. Another folder appeared. Documents. Inheritance records. $1.2 billion. Claire's breath caught. Her eyes widened, because in that moment she realized something devastating. She hadn't just betrayed her husband. She had betrayed a billionaire. And the court had just seen everything. After the hearing, she chased me into the hallway. Her voice cracked. You knew? I stopped walking, turned slowly. Yes. How long? Long enough? Tears filled her eyes. You trapped me. I studied her face carefully. The panic, the regret, the sudden realization of what she had lost. No, I said quietly. You trapped yourself. Her voice dropped to a whisper. We can fix this. I almost smiled. 2 years of lies, hundreds of nights alone, and now she wanted repair. I handed her one final photograph. Her and the other man, leaving a hotel, the date printed clearly below. Our anniversary, I said. She stared at it, broken, speechless. Then I added the final truth. I was going to tell you about the inheritance that night. Her face collapsed completely. That was the moment she understood. Her betrayal had cost her everything. Money, marriage, security, all of it. And she had never even known it existed. Months later, my phone rang 71 times in one evening. Claire again. Voicemail after voicemail. Apologies. Regret. Desperation. I didn't answer. Instead, I posted something simple online. A photograph. My new villa. White stone walls above a lake in Switzerland. Snow resting on the mountains behind it. Quiet. Beautiful. Peaceful. The life she would never see. The calls stopped after that. I watched the sun set from the balcony that evening, the air cold, still, and for the first time in years, my mind was silent. Because the truth had done what it always does. It reveals everything and leaves nothing behind, except freedom.